Hey guys, welcome back to Clash with Barndo. Tonight I'm going to be going through our latest war win. So it's 209 for a 27 streak. The Vietnamese clan didn't really attack much, pretty much beaten from the start. So for us, we did have a 97% war. 3 first hit Town Hall, 10 3-stars. That was Clan Mascot, Shine, and I think Barndo 81B. And that was on my live attack. I did that last night and uploaded that. So outside of that, had a 99% from Barndo 80, Heartbreaker on number 2, and Dynamo had a great hit on number 3. So really good war from there. Our Town Hall 9 spread the love a fair bit, and we did have a 6-pack from Z4, and then some of the Town Hall 8. So really good war for us, knocking out numbers. Taken names, and for replays I've got a couple of Town Hall 10s. One is actually, a Town Hall 11 hit down, and both actually seem to be Town Hall 11 hit downs, and then 4 Town Hall 9s to wrap it up. So some really great news tonight with modding being banned and getting actioned finally from Supercell. Some pretty exciting shit, finally they're listening to the crowds and they're getting rid of these cheating dogs. So you're going to see a lot of clans break. You're going to see a lot of clans that would rely on modding now. People retire and all these kinds of things and use silly excuses. Yeah, really exciting news. Everyone's so happy. It's just seeing all the chatter across different band channels and all that kind of stuff. It's really cool news. So you see here the Queen Walk with the max Valk, and he's only got level 4 Valks. So this is a max base, I think bar walls maybe. So you see out come the old Redheads, Clan Castle Redheads of course. He doesn't have a max King, he doesn't have a max Warden. This was a really good hit down. Hitting into the multi-inferno, unfortunately locked onto his Warden, onto his Golem, but well-timed Warden, so got the Warden out early. Very hard to time your Warden when you're using Valks, and stuff's just going everywhere. You can see Valks running everywhere, and the Queen running after the Hound, and healers running off everywhere, and now the healers are on the Valks. And it's so cool watching healers swap to Valks because it just keeps everything alive, and of course they're getting the 100% heals. You see the King and the Warden, they broke off over on the right hand side. I'd expect he'll pop his King shortly. Valks up top, Queen and Valks on the left hand side, just a really good hit. So well done Dynamo. He is getting used to the Town Hall 11 changes, and it's probably the most I've seen in war recently, which is awesome. It's awesome to get the 3rd, 4th Town Hall 11 regularly into wars and get our top gears going. So we don't want to look at Barndo 81. That's on my live 17 last night, so feel free to go and watch that. It's a bit of a laugh. Hoff's attack is a hit down. Hoff's our 10.5, and let's have a look at old Dirty Bugger. He has gone with a Queen Walk Valk. It's just that powerful at the moment, so we want to make sure that we don't stuff it up and we don't forget about other raids, and that's why I know Shine works hard to keep his GoHog active and all these kinds of things. What do we got now? The Queen. Now, I think the intention that Hoff he did mention was he wanted his Queen to keep going counterclockwise, but unfortunately she's actually going to turn in. So it's going to make things a bit cray-cray, but he does do it well. He's got the Giants in first, there to draw the fire at the start, gets that rage out, and you just look at those Giants. They do a fair bit of damage under the old rage. You got quite a big section of Valks running off over to the right hand side there. If he had some hogs, then you could just hog those corner cells and the Valks would be perfect tanks. But you see here stuff going everywhere yet again. The Queen's got the healers. She's going to run away by herself. The healers luckily track onto her. He's got his King running off to the side. Old Jimmy Bob pops his rage. The Warden's with him now, which is good. And then you got Valks. Down the bottom, you've got a Wizard on the side there. He popped that out. And the Queen, the ever important healers are on the Queen. And she's going to run around like a crazy lady does. So still got his Queen's ability left. He's still got some Valk down the bottom there. The big war for Hoff. He did miss his second attack, unfortunately. He was going to have a crack at number 2 at fixing my 99%. So unfortunate there for us. But you're going to start seeing now. It's going to come down to the Town Hall 10s are all going to get 3-starred. And the Town Hall 11 percentages are going to start playing. So it's going to be good. The game's progressing. Let's have a look now. We've got DTN now. He's gone in with a stoned GoHog versus their number 10. And this was a fresh hit. So he's got this 3-star off the bat. Now I think he's going to drop down 3 earthquakes. Always keep in mind earthquakes are a cumulative damage. How does that work? The damage an earthquake does lessens to the buildings. Every additional one you do, it keeps coming down. So for me, I like to personally drop my max level earthquake first. What DTN's done here, you can see those drop down 3 and he's held the other one to just make sure the golems don't run too far in, which is good strategy. Now you're seeing that first golem there's been smashed quite a bit whilst trying to kill that dragon. So maybe it might have been better just to do a bit of a barbarian drop with the wizards. But now he's still got his clan castle golem in the middle. Gets that rage out. Old Jimmy Bob's going to go nutso on the queen. He's got a few wizards. They did make their way in there. Unfortunately, no, the wizard now gets that bottom one. So he starts his hogs well. He's going to the right-hand side, top right. That's going to make sure his queen's protected. The queen down the bottom where she's gone now, the golem's protecting it down there. So that's really, really well done. Jimmy Bob in the middle on the Town Hall. He's still got his rage. Pops that second heal. That's his remaining heal. Pops that down. He's read this base well. He knows there's no more heals to go into. No more giant bombs to go into now. And gets old Jimmy Bob going. So that's good. Brilliant raid. First hit. Always nice to get. DTN's just freshly had 30-30s. I think this is his first full week with them. And it's funny, you know, you get those bigger heroes, you spend all that time, and then you kind of expect yourself to get 6 stars every war. But unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't happen. He did miss his other attack. Funnily enough, with the scroll bar, he had 3 wizards sitting there and ran out of time. Poor bugger. That's such a dirty feeling, but we've all done it. Let's have a look at number 11 was the next one. Now this is Shade, and he's quite new to clan. He's been a welcome adjustment. I think he did say possibly from Indonesia it was, maybe. He's got a really funny base, Shade. Now he's going in here with a GoLaLoon, and I like this. It's GoLaLoon with a lightning. He's going to lightning out one of the air defense, and obviously walk 2 with the queen and the golem contingent. And then that's only going to leave 1 air defense. Both expos on ground. Keeping in mind now they're doing that plus 15 DPS on what they used to do. So you've got to be very aware of that extra damage. And that's why people are mixing them up now. And you are seeing more ground expos. Because air has kind of been a little bit less as prevalent in farm wars. Air attacks, I've noticed, have become more of a clan war sort of thing, more of an organised war situation. He's done that so well, got both air defences, and then he's also going to get the mortar next and just misses out on the blower, which would have, you know, made the air contingent a bit easier. Drags that first hound across quite a fair bit of air defence area, and yeah, there's very little left to do. It's dry spell for the loons, so they're going to take their time. That Tesla in the middle there actually gets quite a few things, but there's just nothing stopping him on the other side. It's absolutely smashed this base. This was a first hit as well, so fantastic raid from Shade. Corner building, see you later, alligator. Now let's have a look at where are we going next. Number 15, I think it was. Now this was Muzzer, and Muzzer's gone in with the old DragHoLo. So he does the old 4 lightnings. Oh no, sorry, that's only the 2 lightnings. So that's to get rid of that 1 air defense, because he's a bit of a trick base. He's got the 3 air defense on the side here. And it was an interesting start because this is obviously a trick base. You don't really know what to expect. So he's taken a little bit of luck here. Lost a few hogs to spring traps. But because there's nothing split up, he's done it really, really well. Bit of queen on queen action. Still a few hogs left, but once they get in the middle, they're a bit toast from the old clan castle. And that's going to eat that golem. But what's nice is it does slow everything down. I don't recall where he put Jimmy Bob. Few outside defences. This was... What base is this? 15? Yeah, this was a first hit as well. You know, we all do clan wars, we all do farm wars, as well as scrims, and bases like this you kind of think, oh, you should be smashing first hit every time, but sometimes they cause you a bit of grief. So the queen polishes off the clan castle dragon. He's still got a fair bit left in the bag. A few goblins would have been actually quite good with the amount of storage and stuff over there. The old dragons go the long way, and this is where this base would likely get defences. Those Teslas would just be pew-pewing away while it's flying around and taking its time. So good raid Muzz to get that first hit. And let's have a look now at 17. No, 17 wasn't 17, that's not what I want. It's very late for Bando. I wanted to show 14. Looking at the wrong list. Now this was from Z4 and he had a 6-star. Now there's one main reason I wanted to show this. This was a re-hit. He's picked the base well for the re-hit, so he's starting to play with his Valk C4. You know, post-patch they are quite good at Town Hall 9 as well, and it's a matter of getting your spell combos right. And he's done it very, very well. So you see he draws the clan castle, just 1 hog. He wants to pull that out. It is going to do quite a bit of damage. He could have put that archer back on the lab and it would have pulled that right back. Now, I picked this out and I did see this live and I did say it to Z4 at the time, but you see with the dragon, he puts the golem down and uses that as bait. But what's going to happen here is look how much damage that golem is taking and look how much damage the dragon's taking. Because the wizards are chasing it, they're actually missing the dragon. And you can see that first golem is at 30% and now dead, and he's only just moved up. Sometimes that can cause you grief because your actual buildings working up to your herd, to your funnel of your troops, don't actually get killed, which then causes things like this, the runaway redheads. And he's held onto it really well to get where he did after this. He's got a good rage down. I think he gets his poison down now as well. There it is. He's lost a lot of Valks to that side, but just enough to keep going and getting these buildings out. And then into a second rage. So we're seeing a lot of rage with Valks at Town Hall 10. We're not seeing as many at Town Hall 9. And it was interesting to see this spell composition. And I think if he had heal spells, he probably wouldn't have done so well. But the rages have allowed him to get through these level 9 walls and quite successfully to the base. He held on to this rage Queen's Cloak really well, and that's allowed to get the cannon down and then also work towards getting the Expo. You see there's a good half dozen redheads up top there. The old Rangers are going for it, and the Queen is going to succumb now to that Expo. But the Rangers, they've got it. They've got it again. So really good raid from Z4. That is a common thing I do see from time to time again, is people put down a golem and the wizards have to chase after a dragon and they don't hit it. So yeah, it's just something to keep in mind, a little bit of a pointer. But yeah, apart from that, as always, guys, I hope you've had some fun, had a bit of a laugh. It's bedtime for Barndo, but yeah, clash on.